I just don't want it to fall on Saturday or Sunday.
I don't know, that's tough. You know,
Makes your life,
kinda
makes your life.
on the fence with that, you know,
Yeah.
Me too.
the cost of improving your home is so much.
Everyone ready? Very good. Let's call the Ferrisburg City Council meeting to order for February 19th, 2024. Amber, could you call roll, please?
Councilmember Montgomery.
Here.
Councilmember Sias.
Here.
Councilmember Murdoch.
Here.
Councilmember Kate.
Here.
Councilmember DeWitt.
Here.
Councilmember Sturley.
Here.
Mayor Carlson.
Here. If we could all rise for the invocation by Councilmember Kate, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Gracious God, we thank you so much for all the gifts that you give us. Tonight, we thank you for your gift of government, and we ask that you would lead us, guide us, direct us as we attempt in our own feeble way to exercise that gift. In your name we ask it. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This is a time for public comment, time on the agenda for any citizen to direct brief comments or questions to City Council. Is there any public comment at all tonight? Seeing none, moving on. Let's move on to consideration for approval of the consent agenda. 6A, approve the February 5th, 2024 City Council meeting minutes as printed. 6B, adopt discussion and take action if appropriate to approve a recommendation from the Harbor Transit Multimodal Transportation System Board to approve the 24-25 millage rate at 0.6 of a mil. And 6C, adopt discussion and to take action if appropriate to adopt the City of Ferrisburg amended Title VI non-discrimination plan. Can I entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Support.
Thank you. Any discussion at all?
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
Craig, 0.6 millage is the same it's been,
I'm sorry?
0.6 millage is the same as it's been for,
Yes, same millage that last 3 or 4 years.
okay, thank you.
Anyone else have any comments, questions?
Your Honor, I do. I'd like more information on the non-discrimination plan. Maybe Craig could help fill me in on that.
So every time we get federal money, we just gotta make sure that we don't discriminate anybody on race, sex, or anything like that, that everybody gets treated fairly. And so it's just typical practice of the city to do that anyway, so this is just a formality that MDOT wants us to have.
Very good, thank you.
Anyone else with any questions? Hearing none, Amber, could you call roll, please?
Councilmember Sias.
Yay.
Councilmember Sturley.
Yay.
Councilmember Murdoch.
Yes.
Councilmember Montgomery.
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt.
Yes,
Councilmember Kate.
Yes.
Mayor Carlson.
Yes,
Motion passed.
thank you. Moving on to 7A. This is a report from our Sergeant Jake McKellar. Right after the election, I had asked the city manager to bring in all the different department heads that we have to come in and share a little bit about your, put a name, face with the name and that type of thing. And some of us get the packets delivered by your team, which is a great thing. And love to hear what you guys are up to.
Yeah, so I'm Sergeant Jake McKellar. I've been with Spring Lake Ferrisburg for a little over 2 years now. We've had a lot of staffing change since then, and that's mostly because we've got a lot of people that are retiring out. So a lot of the original Ferrisburg Spring Lake deputies have retired out. We have 2 left from the main group. That's Deputy Turbot and Deputy Corey Eller. They both work our 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. shifts, so they're what we call our 7641 car. Then we've got our 7642 car, who we have Deputy Olivia Grice, and then we have Deputy Josh Demaray. Then we have our 6 PM to 6 AM car, which is our 7643 car, who we now have, we have Mitchell Mast, and then we have, Monte White. Monte White just joined us recently. It's been probably 2.5, 3 weeks that he's been here with us. So, Monte will be a good fit with us. Monte came from the schools, so he's got a lot of community policing, SRO type of experience. So we're really excited to have Monte join us, to fit in well with the other deputies that we have. The winter months, we do slow down a little bit, but that gives our deputies a little bit more time to get into our communities and show a little bit more face, whether that be, you know, if we see kids out, we try to entertain what they're doing. If we see them sledding, we try to get engaged with them, show them what we're about, who we are. We drive through a lot of the neighborhoods and try to meet people. And at night, we're doing the same thing, driving through the neighborhoods, just letting people know that we're there, letting them know that their tax money is paying for us to be in the city, and that's where we're at. Any questions?
Yes, Jerry.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Jerry.
Thanks for coming tonight, Sergeant. I was curious on how much funding of our sheriff's department comes from federal dollars, federal grant money?
So I don't do anything with the funding. I couldn't tell you what any of that is.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Craig, do you have anything to share on that?
No, I have no information on that.
We just know what we contract with the county for.
Yeah, yeah. So the deputies that work in this area are contracted through the city to work here.
Your Honor, I noticed one of your cruisers sitting on Van Wagner entrance ramp coming to Grand Haven, quite a bit more than it has in the past. I understand that's probably an important thing to do. However, we're paying you to patrol our streets, not necessarily sit on the exit. Can you mention that to some of the guys?
Yeah, so what that is once in a while Craig will reach out to us with certain areas that people are having issues with, whether it be speeding or just excessive noise, whatever it may be. But we also get people that reach out to us. A lot of the big complaints have been, especially at night, is even with it being winter right now, we're getting like the really loud motorcycles that are going up and down the highways. And that's been quite a complaint with a lot of our residents, is the noise on the highway with our motorcycles in high speeds going on. So what that deputy's doing is sitting on the highway for speeding and incidents like that.
I just noticed a severe uptick last couple months. You know, and I realize they could be doing paperwork from a ticket they wrote sitting there with a
Yep,
radar
so a lot
on
of
or
that
whatever.
is the selective enforcement of sitting out there for the
Right.
speed and the noise.
The other question I got is, as Craig mentioned to you, the emphasis on North Shore Road, particularly out past the park there?
In terms of the speed?
Yeah,
Yeah, so we were a big part of that when it came to the study, when they brought before the stop, or the speed tables even got moved out there. We were a part of that study, and we continue to spend time out there and monitor it, and try to show, like I said, selective enforcement out there as well.
right, okay, thank you.
Your Honor.
Of course.
I just want to say, I appreciate your people coming out and checking. Our neighbor next door's house is empty. He's in a nursing home, and I see someone out there checking and walking around periodically, and that's great. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and that's another thing, our residents, if they fill out a property check form, like, we have a lot of people that leave for Florida or Arizona in the winter times, if they fill out a property check form, our deputies will go out and actively check their residents and make sure everything's good there.
And certainly, just like Sergeant McKellar was talking about the speeding up and down on 31, any of us can certainly email the city manager anytime if you have any concerns. If there's anything that's a hot button issue you're hearing from citizens complaining about different things, feel free to reach out. And I found you guys to be extremely responsive.
Well, thank you.
Which has
We
been
encourage
wonderful.
that, 'cause we don't know exactly where they're speeding this week or next week, so if you know, let us know.
Sure.
We'll patrol that area and do selective enforcement out there and make sure that we catch it before it gets out of control.
Certainly. I did have a couple of things, and that one was, Craig, I see in our packet was something about vandalism at Coast Guard Park. Any relation to the street sign incidents that we had in the spray painting underneath Smith's Bridge?
I don't know the answer to that. I think they apprehended the person who did the spray painting, is the correct? Yep.
Oh, did you?
We worked really close with Grand Haven City, and we were able to come up with a suspect on that, and they were able to take care of that.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. And then also, I've been to a few police commission meetings, and there's been, are we on 24/7 patrolling now within the city and Village of Spring Lake?
Yeah, so we've always been a 24-hour patrol. It's just our 6 AM car is shared between you guys and the Village of Spring Lake.
Okay,
Yep. So before we had a 7644 car, which was a 7 to 3 car. So that car is still not being ran right now.
okay,
Yep, but we do have a 6 AM to 6 PM, then we have another car that comes in 2 PM to 2 AM that overlaps with our morning car and our night car.
okay. And Craig, as the village move forward with additional policing that they were talking about?
There's been no movement on that. They're kind of waiting till the new manager comes in.
Okay, okay. Is there anything that you need from us?
No, I just appreciate you guys inviting me here and be able to show a little face and meet all of you, so, thank you.
Very good. Anyone else have anything else?
You can come to any meeting you want, all the time.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yep, not a problem.
He lives for meetings.
As do we.
Stripes, I didn't know the stripes.
And you have a new sheriff coming on board here in November
We will have a new sheriff coming on,
with
yes,
Steve Kemper retiring.
that is correct,
And undersheriff as well, new undersheriff. That's right.
big changes.
Yep, that's very true. Good,
Your service will not change, I can promise you that.
wonderful. Thank you so much. Very good. Okay, moving on to item 7B, discussion and take action if appropriate to adopt a resolution to designate the entire city as a redevelopment project area to allow for on-premise redevelopment liquor licenses. Craig, you want to bring us up to speed on this?
Yes. So we have a business in the city that is looking to expand and serve liquor. Unfortunately, there's no liquor licenses available in the city. So working with Elizabeth from the chamber, we come upon what we call our on-premise redevelopment license are available in the city if certain criteria are met. One of those criteria that we're working on is that the commercial investment of the entire district needs to be 25% of the total investment. And so we've kind of been running some numbers, and right now, we don't qualify for any of the license if the entire city is designated as a redevelopment center. The Brownfield Board made a recommendation to City Council to designate the entire city. The question is, what qualifies as a commercial investment? Does it have to be a new building, or can it be an air conditioning or some renovation? And then the other question we have that we need to answer is, when does the new investment count? Does it count when the permit's pulled or when the occupancy permit is final? And so Elizabeth is working with the state on getting those answers for us, but we don't have an answer yet. Over the weekend, Elizabeth did some homework and she crunched some numbers, and if we took out certain parts of the city, we might be able to qualify. But we still don't have the answer to when that qualify for the new commercial investment counts. So question is, do we want to move forward and designate the whole city, or do you want to kind of table this until we get some more information from the state? I don't have anything to add, Elizabeth, to that?
Not necessarily anything to add, but I'm here to answer any questions. So it is a Public Act tool that the state of Michigan has, Public Act number 501 of 2006. And so there's certain things that you need to do to qualify since the city is under 50,000 people. We fall to a math formula of how much investment that we need to have here in the city of Harrisburg in order to qualify for this. So for every one license, it's based on, for every 1,000 residents, you need to have at least $1 million of investment. So as of last census, around it, you have 2,950. So in order to have $1 So looking at that math and trying to, I have a contact over at the Liquor Control Commission that I've been asking these questions to. And Craig and I came upon via permit or via occupancy question, and we're trying to get that answered. But this is just another tool in our tool belt that we can use to help the community.
So this is new investment? When you say 2.9 million of investment,
Of additional investment. It can be a renovation, yeah. And it could be commercial, it can be industrial, it can be residential, it can be streetscapes, it could be Ottawa Sands, all that investment, sorry.
correct?
So if we have $1 million in new homes or something like that, 25% of that $1 million has to be commercial.
Okay.
And so we're thinking that Ottawa Sands would qualify for commercial. To really get us over the hump, we had that office building built up there off the highway on Van Wagner, and that was built, permit was taken out in 2019 with the occupancy permit in 2020. So that was a 2-point-some million dollar investment. If we had that in our hand to be able to use that $2.2 million, we would qualify easy within the whole city.
Yeah, then you'd have multiple residents to build. Yeah.
Can you explain to him, Elizabeth, about, there's a time window that we're working under here, correct? Where 2019 is not applicable for the investment requirement, but 2020 is.
You need to look at the previous 3 years, the preceding 3 years from when the application is filed by by whoever's looking for the license. So we have a look back period. It could be a fiscal year, past 3 fiscal years, or it could be the past 3 calendar years. So we've looked at it both ways. If we were to look at it last year, looking at the but now we're into a new year, so we're re-looking at things.
So time could potentially be of the essence with this, correct? So if when it's time